Today I will explain you about data visualization in Python. So what is data visualization? So data visualization in Python involves using various libraries to create graphical representations of data, making complex information easier to understand and analyze. So rather than theory, when we see some images or the graphs, then obviously that is more understandable than reading the theoretical concepts. So the data visualization is a concept which explains the complete information in case of images or in case of graphs, so that whatever the complex information is been in the theoretical form can be represented in case of the graphs, so that we can analyze very easily and very fastly. So the graphs are much more understandable rather than the theoretical concepts. These visualizations help in identifying patterns, trends, and outliers that might be difficult to discern from the raw data. So we need to see that, let's suppose, for example, I want to just track what sort of sales is going on every month, or what is the profit what we are getting, and in which month the profit is more and which month the profit is less, and what sort of alternative measures I need to take, so that all things you need to make a decision. So if you can analyze all these things through a graph, then obviously it's very easy to understand, like, okay, in the first month this is sales, second month this is sales or the profit or loss. Now anything we can identify, it depends on the application and the domain. And the outliers, where we need to see that which one should be eliminated so that you can improve the aspect what you are trying to focus for. And you need to find out the reasons why there is a loss, or what sort of profits you are able to get, and what is the reason for the profits, or what is the reason for the loss in some domains. But the same thing, if you try to read in a theoretical way, then obviously it takes some time to understand. So the data visualization is playing the main role nowadays, so that the decision making process is much more simpler, because we understand the graphs or the images very much in the easy way, so that we can take a very quick decision. Now these are few graphs which comes for the data visualization. So we can work with the pie charts, we can work with the line charts, area plots, X-bin plots, then heat map, histogram, KDE charts, box plot, bar charts, pair plot, scatter plot. These are only few. Now you can see some sort of images, sort of things are being represented for every graph, so that we can just understand the particular graph carefully, and every graph we can put some labeling, some legends. Okay, when we go for the practical implementation, we see that what sort of things we can add for the existing graphs. So each graph is providing some meaningful information to us. So rather than going for the theoretical concept, then obviously if you can put or project these charts in front of the strategic level people, then obviously it's very easy to understand and take decisions very fastly. Now, what are the libraries existing for data visualization in Python? So for the first one, we have the Matplotlib. Now this is one of the mostly used library, or the base foundation for the data visualization in Python. So this is a foundational plotting library in Python, providing a comprehensive set of tools for creating static, or it could be animated and interactive visualizations. So if you want to prepare some graphs, where it could be some static graphs, or it could be some animated, or it could be some interactive visualizations, like whenever I put a mouse onto that, some text will be popped up like that. Now it offers fine-grained control over plot elements and supports various plot types, like line plots are existing, scatter plots, bar charts, histograms, and so on. Now whenever you write any Python code, you need to see that this particular Matplotlib is installed, and you need to use this Matplotlib library. Now these are few graphs for the Matplotlib library. So we have bar charts, Then we have the pie charts, then we have the sign graphs, then scatter plot, then line, then histograms. Okay, then we have the error plots and so on. So these are only few. Like this, we do have so many, so that by preparing this graph, it's very easy to understand. Now, the libraries for data visualization Python continues with the second one, the Seaborn. Now, the Seaborn is a little bit advanced than the Matplotlib. So it has been built on the Matplotlib. Seaborn specializes in creating aesthetically pleasing and informating statistical graphs. So much more interactive plots can be worked out with the Seaborn, and it's been more used for the statistical graphics. Now it simplifies the creation of complex visual like heat maps. We can prepare violent plots and pair plots and integrates well with pandas data frames. Now when you talk about the data frames, it is nothing but a row and column format sort of thing where we can load the data into that and we can just prepare some graphs. Now whenever you use Seaborn, the Seaborn is based on the Matplotlib, and the Matplotlib library is being using some of the plots, and it is going to work at the background for and helps for the Seaborn library in order to prepare very beautiful graphs so that it is much more attractive to see that and understand. Now these are few graphs which can be prepared by the Seaborn library. So we have something called violent plots are there. Then we have sign graphs. Then we have the histograms. Okay. Then we have the heat map, right? Then we have the bar graphs. Then box plot graphs. Like so many here we have, but here a little bit attractive or a little bit beautifulness we can create with the Seaborn graphs, which is based on your Matplotlib. Now coming to the interactive and web-based visualizations, we have Plotly. This enables the creation of interactive web-based visualizations that can be embedded in web applications or dashboards. So you want to put some graphs onto the dashboards. Okay, as you do with the Tableau and Power BI, similarly you can plot some graphs and you can just embed the graphs into the web-based applications where you want to put your own blogs and you want to put the graphs or statistics. Then you can go for this Plotly library. It supports a wide range of chart types and offers features for interactivity such as zooming, panning, and tooltips. So whenever I keep the mouse onto the graphs, then obviously some text need to be popped out, which is called as tooltips, and we can go for zooming the particular image also. Okay, or minimizing that image also whenever you want to just maximize and minimize the graphs. So that is also been possible when you work with the Plotly library. Now these are few graphs what we can prepare with the Plotly library. So many are been very similar to the other graphs also, but with a slight variation. You can see the representation or the display is little bit quite different. Now in continuation with interactive and web-based visualizations, we do have Bokeh. Bokeh is one of the library again for data visualization, which focus on creating interactive visualization for modern web browsers. Now, it provides a flexible and powerful framework for building complex dashboards and data applications with interactive elements. So if you want to create any dashboards again similar to a Power BI tablet, then this Bokeh library can be used for that. And here are a few charts what you can prepare and demonstrate for the people with Bokeh library. See, when you see so many are very similar to the other also, but the representation is a little bit different when you just project with your programming. Now, coming to the next one, we have Altair as a web-based visualization. So it's a declarative statistical visualization library based on Vega Lite. Now, this provides a clear and concise syntax for creating a variety of statistical plots with built-in interactivity. Now here, whatever the task you want to do, you just declare, and the rest of the work is done by the library in order to prepare the graphs. And here it shows very clearly what sort of data, that means whatever the data you have been projecting, that has been clearly represented into the graphs. So here the most of the work is done by the library rather than you, the developer. So these are few graphs which can put for the Altair library, where you can go for the mapping, geo mapping also you can just work out, which is nothing but an additional functionality. Now we have Dash as a one more library. Now it was developed by the Plotly team, what you already seen, and it's a framework for building analytical web applications and dashboards entirely in Python, leveraging Plotly for interactive visualizations. So this Dash is depending on the Plotly team or the Plotly library at the backend in order to prepare the web applications as well as the dashboards, graphs. Now these are few graphs which can work with the Dash library in Python. So you can see variety of graphs are existing in order to do that. Then specialized libraries, we have Folium. Folium is designed for visualize geographical data and creating interactive maps. So if you can, integrates with leftlet.js JavaScript to generate map visualization that can be custom with markers, polygons, and other geographical elements. So we have the Google Maps sort of thing. Now, in the similar fashion, if you want to generate any mapping concept, then obviously you want to put some markers onto that particular maps, and you want to show small elements onto the particular maps, then you can go for this Folium library. Now this is a sort of thing. So this complete map, and you can see so many elements are being shown, and the color can represent each one. A different color works the different area sort of thing. So that you can project with the Folium library in Python. Now coming to the Geoplotlib, it's also similar to Folium, but this focus on geographical data visualization, offering functionalities for creating various types of maps and visualizing spatial data. So spatial geomapping is being offered by Geoplotlib, and various types of mapping concept can be focused, and you can create so many maps in order to just show that particular region in different coloring and so. So this is one of the example of Geoplotlib graphs. Okay, each one is showing a different region at a different location. Then other notable libraries we have is Pygal, is known for generating interactive scalable vector graphics charts that are easily embedded in web pages. Suppose you want to embed some graphs into the web pages, then you can just create the graphs with the Pygal and you can embed into your web pages. Then Gleam is another Python library for building interactive web applications with focus on data visualization. So this is also one of the other library which can be used for generating the graphs and put into the web applications. Now these are few graphs by the Pygal library. So in this way, you can just go for data visualization in Python by going for different libraries, and each one is having its own classes as well as the functions. And by using that, we can prepare very beautiful graphs. Now, by seeing all these types of graphs, obviously we understand that data visualization is playing the main role in the present scenario. If I just go with the theoretical concept, read it and understand, it takes a lot of time to analyze. But by seeing this graph, I can easily analyze what sort of data is existing, then what is the trend going on, or what sort of patterns are been existing, or what sort of outliers are existing where I can eliminate that so that I can improve my profit. So it depends on the domain, and the decisions are being modified. Decisions are being variating in different domains. So we can conclude that data visualization is playing the main role in order to make or in order to analyze the data properly and take a proper and appropriate decision. I hope I have given some input on the data visualization libraries. So if you like this video, do comment, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Thank you.